Good day, folks. Welcome to the SLC Punkcast offshoot YouTube show. We don't have a title for this one yet. Well, we have a working title, 4 episodes in, and we're not even fully decided on it. It just kind of sucks. It's SLC Punkcast live around the world. I know we've been saying we'll be changing the title for a month now, but it's a work in progress. We've just been doing so much. But for now, let's talk about the shows that I attended. I did not attend any shows, but one happened. One happened, and I happened to be there. Now, this was an unplanned show. It actually happened the day before my this post-Halloween party that I've been planning for a couple of weeks. And we were at, me and my 2 roommates, my friends, Nikki and John, who help run the Poser Palace with me, we went to Aces High. They were doing a little Halloween celebration there, and we ran into this lady named Amber. And she recognized me from Anonymous, so we started talking about music, and then Nikki comes in and says, "Are you in a band?" "Yes, I'm in a band called the Storm Harbor Point, and we would love to play a show." We were talking about how we ran a house venue, and they're like, "Really? Can we play it? How about we play it tomorrow? We're doing a party." Dude, let's fucking play it then. I don't know how it exactly happened because I wasn't there. Then they came to me saying, "How about we have them do a little pop-up show?" Hey, yeah. You know what? Fine by me. We already have everything set up. Just got to make sure it's okay for the drummer to use Ben's drums and the guitarist to use Josh's Marshall cab. And they did, and it was awesome. So yeah, we get the show started. It is about maybe 12:30 a.m. And we did it in our garage. We were way past noise ordinances, way past. Most people were already pretty sloshed, and the cops showed up. Not 1, not 2, but 3 cops in 3 cars. And why? Because it was 12:45, and we were blasting music outside of the garage, and people were kind of getting pissed. And I was just chilling out front talking to one of my friends, and then John comes out. He is pretty fucking hammered at that point, and I said, "Hey, there's piggies on parade over there," and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll handle him." And yep, he just lumbers on over there, and he speaks rather coherently and succinctly to the cops, like, "What's going on? Are things too loud?" "Yeah, it's too loud. We just need you guys to turn it down. It is incredibly late." "Okay, sure." So we had to cut off the guys from Storm Harbor Point, and they understood, and it was fine. It's just it was a show that was completely unplanned, rather sporadic, and I mean, it was just cool to have that going on anyway. Yeah, so it was a good time. And what's funny, I was still hanging out front of the garage, and we were just kind of watching the cops, and I heard one of them say, "Yeah, it's too bad we had to shut it down. I was actually enjoying this music." So, hey, Safe Harbor Point, if this gets back to you, at least you had the cops on your side. You got a new fan. And, yeah, it's best to have someone on the inside, you know? So you have someone who can advocate for you. That never happens. Cops only advocate for themselves. But that's a different story. Anyway, that was the only show that I had attended, not even really intentionally. But let's talk about some of the shows that are coming up. On the 8th, we have the Recidivist album release show. They have just released their album, so Madness Malformed. They just dropped it on all the streaming services, but they'll do an official physical album release show on the on the 8th, and that will be including Sewn Shut and Grave Titan. That will be at the Fellowship Hall, $15 entry, and it's going to be starting at 8 p.m. And they will be playing that whole album, all of it, front to back, all 9 songs. It's going to be epic. I'm going to enjoy it. Sorry, that was that epic was meant for more power metal shows. This is a death metal show. We have to say it's going to be epic. Moving on the 9th, Ignorant Bliss, Force Entry, Travel en Masse, and RAGM. I don't know if that's an acronym or if you just pronounce it Ragum, but that's what's written on the flyer. But that first letter, it looks to be either an R or a K. You can't tell with those really old English fonts. But that's what I'm dealing with. Anyway, that'll be at Black Lung Society. It's going to be starting at 7 p.m. and it's going to be $10 to enter. On the 11th, on 11/11, the bands Salt Wound, Snuff Tape, Mummy, and Demonastery. I really love that. I really love that name, Demonastery. Demonastery. Anyway, they'll be playing at the DLC. It is currently $15. They're doing a pre-sale going on, so if you want to get in there early and cheaper, $15. I don't know how much the charge is going to be at the door, maybe $20. That's sometimes what it goes up to, but if you plan on going, it'll be starting at 7 p.m., which means doors will be at 7 p.m. It's a bar show. It's a bar show. It's going to be starting a little later than what's advertised, so keep that in mind. And on the 15th, this is going to be a huge show. This is going to be a memorial show for Brad Bricks, who on the 15th of November 2014 was murdered in front of this venue, where there was a show going on. The bands Soul Search, Fury, and Stick Figures, and his band Close Grip were all playing. So he got shot outside as a result of an altercation between not just him, but it was this guy, one Quincy Lawson, his group of friends harassing his kid brother, and everyone just surrounded those guys and just shoved them outside. And then at some certain point, weapon was drawn, shots fired, and Brad Bricks was no more. It was a fucking tragedy. It was a horrible time, horrible night for everyone involved. And I had just begun going to hardcore shows. I was about 4 months into going to hardcore shows and just getting involved with the culture and meeting people. And that was the night I met Brad Bricks. That was my first time meeting him. And yeah, that really sucks. First time meeting him, and now we weren't able to get to know each other. But for all the people that did know him, there wasn't a dry eye in that venue. It was super intense. It was fucking gnarly. So anyway, 10 years later, and my friend Jocelyn put together this memorial show. There are 2 touring bands on this show that will be Witness Chamber and End of Days. And the band, and we got X Forever War X and Absolved opening up for them. And we have 2 bands who have reunited after 10 years. The first of which is Close Grip. Close Grip, they stayed on for a couple of months after Brad's death. His little brother took over as vocalist, and they played a few more shows under that name, and then they broke up by around mid-2015, officially. And so that was the last show that they had played. So now, for this memorial show, they are getting back together for this one show. The other band that is reuniting actually has reunited. They have played a show already. Is Pushing Up Daisies. Pushing Up Daisies goes way back. They go way back to the old school Grudge City days, and they are a hardcore band that is unlike any other that came out at this time. The best way I can describe them is progressive hardcore. You really got to check out their music. They just have that one EP. That is it. And they haven't played a show since Brad Bricks' memorial show in 2015. That was the last time they had played, not counting the show that they played just a few weeks ago at Urban Lounge for this SCU fundraiser. So yeah, but this one will be a lot more, I think will be a lot more significant because it is tied with the culture. It's tied with the community. It's going to be a really intense show. I'm really happy that it's going on. Shout out to you, Jaws. Fucking A. You are a fucking wizard. a credit to the profession. Anyway, that show will be at Fellowship Hall. It's $10 and it will start at 8 p.m. Get there early. I'm serious. Get there early. You never know with these shows. And finally, on the 19th, I will be going to see Crowbar. The fucking sludge metal stalwarts of New Orleans. They are so fucking cool. I have not seen them before. I've been listening to their albums for quite a few years, ever since I was introduced to I Hate God and St. Vitus and Soylent Green, and I started going down the rabbit hole. Well, not even the rabbit hole, just like diving into the depths of the swamp of these murky New Orleans metal. Oh my God, and Crowbar came out as one of my favorites, and I am excited to be seeing them. Me and my best friend are gonna be alongside, just listening to them like, yeah, she won't let you be. That's gonna be an awesome show. If you guys want to participate in that will be happening, like I said, November 19th at the Urban Lounge, and it will be $28 to enter. Really, not that bad. That's after everything. And it will start at 7 p.m. Well, doors at 7. It's a bar. It's going to start later than it's advertised. So yeah, those are the shows that are coming up, some of which I will be attending and will be talking about in the next episodes.
Now let's go live around the world. First up, I'm going to mention our pals in Barstool Preachers. They're going to be here in the U.S. touring. It's just actually started a couple days ago, and they'll be with Bite Me Bambi. They did Brooklyn, Buffalo, Detroit, probably later on tonight on the 7th. Then on the 8th, Indianapolis, Chicago, Denver, and they'll be here next week, the 13th. They'll be in Salt Lake at Quarters DLC. I'm going to be there. On the 15th, they'll be in Seattle, then Portland on the 16th, and you can see the rest of the flyer. We'll get into more of those, but a bunch of shows in California and Las Vegas to go between November 17th and the 30th. I'm sure they'll be at Pirates Press when they're there in Northern California, but go check out those bands. They'll be at the Makeways when they're in town in Salt Lake City. Another tour, but this one over in Europe, some New York blood. This one just started, and it is Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law, Violent Way, Schweinfurt, you already saw them. Leipzig, you're seeing them. Well, you probably saw them by the time I'm doing this. But then on the 8th, they'll be in Essen, Flensburg in Germany on the 9th, and then they'll be in Belgium, Switzerland, Italy, bunch more shows in Germany, Poland, Czechia, France, well, another show in Germany, then France and Netherlands. Kind of centered around Germany and just kind of working their way around Germany, but branching out and hitting some other places. So definitely go see those three bands and anybody that supports them in those towns if you're over there in Europe. Great show. Next on November 10th, this is at the Holding Company in San Diego. You get to see The Freeze. You get to see Das Clown. It's $15 pre-sale, $20 day of. Doors at 1:30, early show. Go check that one out. Another California show, but this one up north in Fresno at Full Circle. You get to see TSOL, Since We Were Kids, The Vilitia, and Broken Cuffs. That's on Saturday, November 9th. Doors are at 7. Go to suckerpunchproductions.com if you want to get yourself tickets and or more information. Then in a Florida show, we'll bounce coasts, and this one is also Sunday, November 10th. This will be at the Kona Skate Park in Jacksonville, Florida. It's $15 at the door, $5 to skate. It's an all-ages show that starts at 6 p.m. You get to see Stalag 13 out of Oxnard, 1983, Swill, and then Dirty Mike and the Boys. Cool-looking flyer there as well, man. One of the great things about doing this program and doing it the way we do it now is you get to see the cool flyers that go along with this stuff. Next on the 8th, starting on the 8th anyway, Charger are playing at the Tower Bar in San Diego with the Plagues and Death Boys. Head to the Tower Bar by 8 p.m. for a 21 and older show. Go to towerbar.com for tickets. Then the next night, really, Saturday the 9th, Charger is also playing with the Plagues at Sin Wave in Las Vegas. So this is a Southern California thing. 8 p.m. show there too. SinwayVegas.com if you want to get tickets. 21 and older, unfortunately, as well. And so is the next one. You have to be 21 or older to see Charger this weekend, I guess. This one will be in Arizona, Yucca Tap Room, yuccatap.com on November 10th. It's Charger, the Plagues, TV Tragedy. This one, 7:30, and it, again, like I said, 21 and older. Then we've got King Tide at the Punk Rock Museum on November 9th. That's at 3 p.m. live. They're playing live inside the museum, so make sure you get there to check out King Tide out of California. Another California band, Fear, playing in Sacramento with our pals in Infirmities, Saturday, November 16th. The Rink Studios, it appears in Sacramento. This one is an all-ages show, so go check that one out. The next one is November 25th, kind of far out, but Fan Club will be performing at Loathing Clothing here in Utah with the X'd, Idiots, and Debasers. That is 7 p.m. Definitely looking forward to checking that one out. November 23rd, our pals in Schism will be playing in Bethpage, New York. Go to nostalgia.com for tickets. It's $10 in advance, $12 day show. Doors at 7. They'll be playing with Homebodies, Deadly Skies, Suffolk Strangers. So go check out our pals in Schism. Then Mad Mulligans will be playing a show on November 16th. They're playing with Shave for Battle, Last Protocol, Uprising. Great lineup there. Doors at 7. Again, November 16th at the Rock Room. So go check out those New York and I think it's in Pittsburgh. Is it in Pittsburgh? It might be in Pittsburgh. Anyway, you see the flyer. It's $10. Go to Last Protocol. Go to Mad Mulligans. Go to Shave for Battle. Go to any of those. Get some more details. Then a charity show for Coats and a Toy Drive are coming up, and that's November 8th. That one is coming up soon. This one will be in Minnesota at Mortimer's. They're raising coats, or trying to raise, I shouldn't say raising, they're trying to gather coats to be donated at International Institute of Minnesota. Toys will be heading to the toy shelf in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and also getting donations to send to Asheville, North Carolina for hurricane victims. You can go see it's at Mortimer's rather. The Slow Death, Empire Down. It's at 8:30. Lost Leaders also there. Sleeper Cell. It's $10 or free with those donations, but if you can, try to do both. Go see some great bands and help out in any which way you can. The Morecambe Punk Festival's coming the 15th, 16th, and 17th. So go check out all of those bands. You see the flyer. There's 50 bands over 4 days, more than 50 bands. Bands such as GBH, Hung Like Hand Ratty, Dirt Box Disco, The Drowns, Faintest Idea, Knockoff. That's just at the top. And some of the bands we've played before. We've played the Allergics, the Satellites. So many great ones on this list as I read it down. And I'm sure a lot of these bands, Surgery Without Research, played them. Bands that I haven't played, the Samples as well. Bands I definitely need to check out because they're playing with really cool bands that I enjoy. So make sure if you're going to be in Morecambe, go check that one out. Last two that we're going to get to, there will be a show November 16th, Mary Hill in Glasgow at the Audio Lounge. Doors at 7, £15 per ticket, includes £2 donation to Glasgow Hunt SABs. It is an all-ages show. BYOB, by the way, that's important information. You got to go see Takers and Users, The Clench, and Thrown Away. Cool bands on that one. And finally, we'll mention that Leftover Crack are doing a winter tour starting on November 19th in Providence, Rhode Island. They'll end December 22nd in Tempe, Arizona at Marquee Theater. Ain't coming to Salt Lake. Only doing, looks like, about 5 shows out here in the West, but they've got a bunch of cool shows lined up in the Northeast through the North Midwest. So go check them out. They'll be playing some of those shows with Sad Plant, some with World's Scariest Police Chases, and also 2 of them with Fear. Pretty awesome. That's going to wrap it up. Eric?
So until next week, guys, this is Eric. This is SLC Punkcast live around the world, I guess. And, signing off. Check you later.